morning to all of you. Let's start chapter number 4, Albert Einstein at School. And today we'll start with the first line of this page. And this chapter is from your book, Snapshot. So I can't imagine a doctor saying that, said Yuri. I must try, said Albert, to find a doctor who specializes in nerves. Here, previously we or in previous paragraphs we have read that Albert asked his friend Yuri to find some kind of doctor, so who would give him a certificate on his nervous breakdown and recommend rest for 6 months. So here Yuri is giving reply of that question that I can't imagine a doctor saying that, said Yuri. Yuri is saying that I can't imagine कि कोई डॉक्टर तुम्हें ऐसा सब कुछ recommend करेगा that you are suffering from nervous breakdown and you need a rest for 6 months. I must try, said Albert, to find a doctor who specializes in nerve. Here, Albert is saying that, okay, I will try or I must try and I will find out some kind of a doctor who specializes in nerves. So that he wants to try. There are plenty of them, Yuri told him. He hesitated for a moment and then he added, rather reluctantly, I will ask some of the students if they know one, if you like. Here Yuri is mentioning to, or Yuri is giving answer to Albert that there are plenty of them. If you are searching for nervous breakdown or nerve, if you are searching for that kind of nerve doctor, then there are plenty of them. There are so many doctors who specializes in nerves. He hesitated for a moment, then he hesitated for a moment, Yuri, and then he gave it again. Rather reluctantly. Here reluctantly means उसने उससे थोड़ा सा relief दिया या तसल्ली दी. I will ask some of the students if they know one, if you like. मैं कुछ स्टूडेंट से पूछूंगा जो कि तुम्हें नहीं जानते होंगे, बट मुझे ये भी पता है दैट यू डोंट लाइक देम. और इफ़ यू लाइक मतलब अगर तुम चाहते हो तो ओके, आई विल आस्क दोज medical students who are specializes in nerves. Will you? Oh, thank you, Yuri. Albert's eyes were shining. Wait a moment, I haven't found one yet. Here Albert is saying that, will you? क्या तुम ऐसा करोगे? Yuri मेरे लिए. Okay, thank you. And then Albert's eyes were shining because his main motive is to leave the school and this violent area where he is having lodging. So that is why Albert is feeling very happy, and this happiness is he expressed this happiness by his eyes, or it is shown by his eyes. And then Yuri is giving a reply, wait a moment, I haven't found one yet. थोड़ा रुको, मैंने अभी तक ढूंढा नहीं है. Oh, but you will. And here Albert is saying that, okay, but I know that you will find some doctors on, and if I do, I don't know if he will be willing to help you. Here Yuri is saying that, okay, if I will find a doctor on this nerve breakdown, that I'm not sure that he will help you. So, and he will, declared Albert, I'm going to have a real nervous breakdown to make it easier for him. He laughed merrily. Here, Albert ने कहा, okay. He will, declared Albert. Albert ने कहा, नहीं, तुम चिंता मत करो. He will surely declare, और वो बिल्कुल मान जाएगा कि I am suffering from nervous breakdown, because मैं सच्ची में nervous, I am having a real nervous breakdown, and it will easier for that doctor to prescribe me. And he laughed merrily. And after that, narrator जो है एल्बर्ट जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा खुश होके, मेरीली हियर मीन्स ही इज़ फीलिंग वेरी जॉयस एट दैट टाइम. आई हैव नेवर सीन यू लुकिंग लेस नर्वस, रिमार्क्ड यूरी. यूरी इज सेइंग दैट कि मैंने इससे पहले तुम्हें कभी इतना नर्वस नहीं देखा है. A day or two at school will soon put that right, Albert assured him. And एल्बर्ट ने उसे कहा कि स्कूल में 1 या 2 दिन जाने पर जल्दी ही ठीक हो जाएगा. एंड एल्बर्ट trying to giving some kind of trust to that Yuri. So he assured him. Certainly, he had lost his high spirits when Yuri saw him next. I can't stand it any longer, he said. I shall have a nervous breakdown that will satisfy any doctor. Here, Yuri Albert, ascertain he had lost his high spirits and अचानक से जो है एल्बर्ट जो है वो अपनी हाई स्पिरिट्स को भूल जाता है. एंड व्हाट ही सेइंग दैट व्हेन यूरी सॉ हिम नेक्स्ट, जब यूरी उसे देखता है, आई कांट स्टैंड इट एनी लॉन्गर ही सेड, और उसने कहा दैट आई कांट स्टैंड फॉर टू मच टाइम और आई कांट स्टैंड हियर एंड आई रियली शेल हैव अ नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन. और मुझे लगता है शायद मुझे सच में नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन की फीलिंग हो रही है. And these things will satisfy the doctor also, and then surely he will recommend. So basically here he is saying that I am doing acting with that much perfection that doctor will surely satisfied. Keep it up, then said Yuri. I have found a doctor for you. So here Yuri is saying that okay my friend, जब तक तुम इसे बनाए रखो और वट एवर यू आर डूइंग, कीप इट अप. आई हैव फाउंड अ डॉक्टर फॉर यू. ओके, आई विल फाइंड अ डॉक्टर फॉर यू. You have Albert face lit up. Oh God, when can I see him? Here, Albert. You have Albert face lit up. Albert Einstein is saying, okay, you have to find that doctor for me. And his face is he's feeling very joy and it shows on his face. Oh God, when can I see him? And now Albert is saying, okay God, मैं उन डॉक्टर से कब मिलूँगा? I have an appointment for you for tomorrow evening, Yuri said. Here is the address. And Yuri is giving reply, okay, मैंने उन डॉक्टर से तुम्हारे लिए अपॉइंटमेंट ले लिया है and ये उनका एड्रेस है. He handed Albert a piece of paper. Then he is giving a piece of paper to Albert. Dr. Ernest Wheel. He is a specialist in nervous trouble, asked Albert. Dr. Ernest Whale, he is a doctor and he is a specialist in nervous trouble. Now, these things Albert asked him. Not exactly, Yuri admitted. Yuri ne kaha, not exactly. He is on specialist on nervous troubles. As a matter of fact, he only qualified as a doctor last week. Only the thing is that he is qualified enough, and last week he is getting all these things. You may even be his first patient at my and it even possible that Albert, you are his first patient. Here Yuri mentioned you knew him as a student then. Then Albert is asking question to Yuri. Okay, then you knew that Dr. Ernest well because both of you are classmates or you are students in same batch. I have known Ernest for years. Yuri hesitated for a few moments. He is not a fool, he warned Albert. And here Yuri is saying that कि वो अर्नेस्ट को बहुत सालों से जानता है. Yuri hesitated for a moment and he hesitated for a moment and then he is giving some kind of warning to Albert that he is not a fool. He is a very well known in his और whatever he is having or whatever nervous troubles पे जो उसने अपना डॉक्टरेट करी, he is quite professional in that. What do you mean? Don't try to pull the wool over his eyes. That's all. Be frank with him, but don't pretend you have got what you have not. Not that you do deceive anyone, Yuri added. You are the world's worst liar. Here, Yuri is saying that don't try to pull the wool over his eyes. Here means that don't try to fool that doctor. Thanks, that's all. Yuri is saying that that's all I wanted to say, that don't try to fool that doctor. Be frank with him. तुम उससे सिर्फ फ्रैंक वट एवर यू आर हैविंग इन योर माइंड और वट एवर यू आर फीलिंग, जस्ट टेल हिम स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, बट डोंट प्रिटेंड यू हैव गॉट वट यू हैव नॉट। बट ऐसा कुछ करने का प्रिटेंड मत करना जो तुम्हारे पास और जो तुम सफ़र नहीं कर रहे हो। नॉट दैट यू डिसीव एनी वन, बिकॉज तुम जो है झूठ भी या धोखा भी ढंग से नहीं दे सकते। यूरी एडेड, यू आर द वर्स्ट, you are the world's worst liar. Here Yuri is saying that, Albert, you don't know how to lie. That's his mean. Albert spent the next day wondering what to tell doctor. When the time arrived for his appointment, he had worried over it so much that he really was quite nervous. Albert spent the next day wondering what to tell the doctor. And Albert spending the next day for whole next day he is wondering that what how he will talk to doctor and how he will behave in front of him. That's the things he is having in his mind. And when the time arrived for his appointment, and finally when the time जब वो टाइम आया जब उसे डॉक्टर को अपॉइंटमेंट से दिखाना था, he had worried over it so much that he really was quite nervous, and he is worried at that time that he feels exactly, he feels very nervous at that time. So here in these paragraphs, Yuri found Dr. Ernest Wells, who is one of his friend. He knows him for years. So where and told Albert that absolutely truth with that doctor, that is Dr. Wheel. Dr. Wheel felt that and Albert is practicing that how he will talk to that doctor and how he will behave in front of him, though, so that he can recommend his nervous breakdown, or he will recommend rest to Albert for 6 months. This is his because he wants to get rid of all his school troubles and all the violence here, or all the sufferings, whatever he is suffering in the lodgings and all that. So his basic intention is that is why he is doing all these things here.